Hi Westies, this is Mrs. Malone and Mrs. Tran and Miss Rindles, and we are bringing to you the second part of our Unit 3B, Equations and Inequalities. So we are going to be introducing inequalities to you today. Here we're going to review some of the important basic signs and verbiage and graphing skills for inequalities. Here you have greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and then less than or equal to. And then you also have equal to are your signs. So again, I'm going to make little check marks as I'm going over these. You have your greater than sign, your less than. This would be greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and then also equal to. There's going to be other vocabulary words that can go along with these symbols, and we're going to note those in our next activity. So here you'll be familiar that if the open side is, let me undo. There you go. So when you have the larger open part of the alligator's mouth to the left and you're reading from left to right, that is your keyword here could be greater than. Greater than. It could also be more than. And then we could say that x is greater than 5. So if we think about the value of x, if the value of x is greater than 5, it's not going to be equal to 5. It could be 6, 7, 8. It could be 50. Any value that's greater than 5. You will note the circle. When we are graphing an inequality, you're going to be using an open circle or closed circle. When we graphed our equations, we just graphed one solution. It only had one answer, and we used a closed circle because it was that answer. When we determined the solution, it was that one solution. Here, you're going to have what you would call a solution set because there's going to be more than one possibility for the answers. So we know that the value of x could be 6, 7, 8, or anything greater. So it's going to, we know that it says x is greater than 5. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to circle 5 and I'm going to keep it open because it does not include 5. So it is an open circle. And then we know that it is greater than. So if you look at the greater than sign, when I recopy it, it is pointing to the right. I'm going to add a little arrow on over there. And you're going to go, oh, that's how our arrow is going to look. And now I'm going to shade in my arrow. And I have just graphed this inequality. X is greater than 5. Shade the line to the right. The same way that your greater than or your more than symbol is pointing. Our next one, greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to. You could also have or more. It could be or more. And a very popular one could be at least. At least. You must be at least 16 years old to drive. There's an example. Okay, the example they have here, we're using 5 for all these so you can see the difference. X is at least 5. If it's at least 5, then it is 5 or more. So that means our solution set will be 5, 6, 7, 8, ... Then it could also be 50 again, right? But here, because it's including 5, we are shading in. It is a closed circle in our line. We're going to shade in our line and it's going to the right. So again, I'm going to start at 5. If you take time to draw this line right here underneath the greater than sign, like greater than or equal to, you're going to take time to shade it in, and now I'm drawing my arrow to the right. Excellent. Next, you have this sign. You'll be familiar with saying it is less than. You could also say it's fewer than. X is less than 5. So again, it is not including 5, so it's going to be an open circle. We're going to shade the line to the left because that is the less than. That's the way the left is the sign is pointing. So I'm going to indicate that it's on 5 and it's less than 5. So I'm going to shade my arrow that way, and I forgot to give you examples. If it is less than 5, it's an open circle. It's not including 5. So that means it is 4, 3, 2, 1, negative 4, and on and on and on. Okay? Our next sign is less than or equal to. We could also say up to. X is less than or equal to 5. So if X is less than or equal to 5, that means it could be 5, 4, 3, 2, it could be 1, it could be negative 4, and so on, right? It's including 5, so it's going to be a closed circle, and the arrow is pointing to the left, so we're going to indicate the 5, shade it in, and then make our arrow to the left, because the value of X is less than or equal to 5. Lastly, it is equal to. This is what you were doing when we were graphing the equations, and this is why we wanted you to practice. It is equal to, it is congruent, it is the same, it is 5. It will be a closed circle, and this is not a solution set, this is simply just 5. Okay, next. This is the saying I was saying earlier. If you take time to draw the line, take time to shade in the circle. So they're saying with your less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. If you take time to draw that equal sign line, then take time to shade in the solution set because you know it will include that number.